basically a perfect game and his first truly Bradley Beal game as a Sun. And if you get even 80% of that the rest of the way, this works exactly the way that people thought it was going to.
We have been talking in pregame how Bradley Beal needed a get-right game, and we were hoping the vibes in Washington would be high for him, and they absolutely were. Wizards fans gave him a great ovation before the game, during his tribute video, when he checked out in the fourth quarter there. So that was awesome to see, and it was great to see shots fall for him, season high in scoring this season so far. So good for him. He needed that. Like, the last 5 games, shooting-wise, have been really rough, and he was incredible.
Yeah, I'm a man. I believe in the basketball gods. I do. And tonight was the basketball gods putting us in a very good situation. Brad Beal's been struggling. He's needed a game like this. And the basketball guy said, hey, Brad, man, I know you're going through it. We'll send you back home, give you an ovation, put you in familiar and comfortable grounds, tribute video. Oh, by the way, you're going to get to play the guys that you practiced with for many years and probably whooped on them in practice. And so you're familiar with their game, and we're going to get you out of this funk. So, yeah, I mean, couldn't come at a better time. I mean, this game was exactly what the doctor ordered.
Come on, Flex. Stop it with the positivity. The big three did absolutely nothing in the fourth quarter, and that is just unacceptable.
Oh, man.
I mean, they didn't have any minutes, and it was impossible for them to do anything. But still, damn it, still.
They were pretty bad.
Look, the Dark Knight returned to D.C., and he played a hell of a game. And I love everything that we saw from him outside of not hitting a 3 as the first bucket. I thought he had basically a perfect game and his first truly Bradley Beal game as a Sun. And if you get even 80% of that the rest of the way, this works exactly the way that people thought it was going to, right? And it's nice to see that he finally adjusted to the mask, that it doesn't seem to be a problem, that he found that three-point shot again. And that is one of the most encouraging things I've seen from the Suns team, is that if you get Bradley Beal, the actual Bradley Beal, this team goes to another level that we haven't seen all year.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I don't think Bradley Beal's been bad prior to the mask by any means. I think it's just been a process of getting acclimated to a new team and the big three. The mask is completely understandable that he would kind of take a little bit of a step back there, because he's quite literally relearning his court vision out there. So that makes sense. So this game was just the perfect timing all around. Like, it was very poetic that he's back home for the first time since the trade this past offseason. The way that he was welcomed by that fan base, like, which he deserved 100%. And I'm glad that that's the reaction he got from that fan base, because sometimes fan bases will turn just for the sake of turning, even though they know what an athlete has done for their city and their franchise. They'll just do it just because they feel like they kind of have to. You know what I mean? Which we see all the time with Saul talking trash about Cam and Mikal. I get it. Whatever. But it was just very poetic that this was the game that kind of was there to right the ship for Bradley Beal, get him out of that funk, and allow him to realize that he also can still perform at a very high level, at an all-star level, with this mask situation he's got going on, and it doesn't have to be something that holds him back.
Yeah, I feel like the Washington fans even knew he stayed a few years too long and too loyal, right? So holding it against him, I don't think was ever going to be the case there in Washington. It was great to see. And this is an occasion where a tribute video makes a hell of a lot of sense, and I'm glad they did it in the starting lineup the way they did, so he could truly appreciate it and honor those fans the way that they were honoring him as well. Because a lot of times they'll do it in like a timeout in the first quarter or something. I don't think that's fair to a guy like this. I'm glad they did him the honor of doing it in that starting.